Team stats, 251 total yards compared to the Broncos, 295. Yes,
Yeah,
the Broncos.
It's called not nearly enough.
Yeah, 110 pass yards, 141 rushing yards, 16 first downs, 4 of 13 on third down. And if you're wondering at home, that's 43%. Your boy went to school this week and learned how to math. And again, 10 penalties for 78 yards. Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Corey Idle, and joining me, as always, the man taking responsibility for 2 straight wins this season, Mr. Lou Willard. Lou, how we doing today?
I'm doing great with 2-0.
That's it.
2-0. How can I be doing bad? I'm 2-0, man. I can't any way I could be in a bad mood. 2-0.
Let's see if I can put you there. Stats from our game against the Broncos. Team stats, 251 total yards compared to the Broncos, 295. Yes, the Broncos.
It's called not nearly enough.
Yeah, 110 pass yards, 141 rushing yards, 16 first downs, 4 of 13 on third down. And if you're wondering at home, that's 43%. Your boy went to school this week and learned how to math. And again, 10 penalties for 78 yards.
Man, that's 19 penalties in 2 games. Tomlin is about to lose his mind. Had a touchdown called back.
Had multiple big plays called back. George Pickens
multiple big plays.
Should have had a massive game against one of the best DBs in the friggin' league. You almost got me to curse. You got me getting mad now. Yeah. Dude ruined a good game. And that offensive line, I'm telling you right now, tighten the ship, boys. Because it is ugly. You're flat-footed. When I can tell the offensive linemen are coming off the snap flat-footed, y'all suck. Shape up.
I mean, the thing is, too, they're run blocking well because the run for 141 in an NFL game is hard to do. I'm not sure they're getting enough reps pass blocking. And granted, they had to bench Broderick, but now they get I look for things to get better, though, because Troy's been playing great. Fat now is playing great.
Looks good. He looks
really raving good about him. They're raving about the other rookie, Zach Frazier.
He looks great.
Raving about him. Daniels is holding up. They're missing Suamalu. And he's supposed to come back. There's a chance he comes back this week. And I think that'll shore up some of the passing, but they're not throwing the ball enough to get into any type of rhythm. Either throwing it, blocking for it, or whatever. And then a lot of that in their pass blocking schemes looks the way it looks because sometimes Justin is leaving a little too early. So it looks like they're not blocking. But hell, even Dan Moore is off to a good start. He had one of the worst. He had the worst left tackle rating in the league last year. I was yelling for him to let him go, or at least make him the third tackle. He's outplayed Broderick. I'm not sure what's going on with Broderick right now.
No, Broderick. We're going to get off a little off topic here early. Broderick looks like an immature child out there. When he's out there yelling and screaming and throwing a fit, son, you look like a kid. You're supposed to be a grown-ass man in a professional world. Shape it up. Yeah, because
he's not looking good at all right now.
No, and I'm not even mad at you, Broderick. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, you got to fix it.
Because you're better than that. You're so much better than this. As a man, as a football player, on down the board. Tighten up the ship. Justin Fields, to allude to what you were saying, 13 of 20 for 117 yards with 1 touchdown. The 1 touchdown.
Had 1 call back. Could have had 2.
But we didn't. 10 penalties. Najee Harris, 17 rushes, 69 yards. Jaylen Warren back on the field. Good to see him. 9 carries, 42 yards. And Fields, 8 for 27. As you alluded to last week, Lou Cordarrelle Patterson, that dropped down. That he had 2 carries, a couple yards. Warren's back, looking really strong. Rushing game looks good. We have no complaints in the rushing game, do we?
No, not at all. But the thing is, how far is that going to take you? Now, you can get to the playoffs, but it's about they've been to the playoffs. Getting to the playoffs is not this team's problem. This team's problem is scoring touchdowns and scoring enough points to compete with the better quarterbacks in the league. Like, and they're still not going to see that this week. So you can still get more. You can still get more fool's gold. They're not going to see it this week. They're not going to see it next week. They don't see it till the 5th game when the Dallas Cowboys come to town. They're not going to see it this week with the Chargers because of Harbaugh. And we'll get to that game. They're not going to see it next week because it's Anthony Richardson. You're playing a younger, more dynamic Justin Fields. So they say, but he shit the bed this week. So what are we doing? You know, what's this offense going? This offense right now is what I feared the most when they hired him. And you and I talked about it before we even started the show. This was my biggest fear when they brought in Arthur Smith.
Yep. And this was my biggest fear when they brought in Justin Fields, is we were going to surround Justin with talent, as we've talked about almost every single show since he came to Pittsburgh. We are a Justin Fields fan club. We are there.
Yeah.
But dude, again, I said it last week. You got to show me more than 100 yards passing and a couple good rushes. Now, he did have that opportunity, but the penalties negated all of it. That throw on the run he made to Pickens down the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the best throws, not only I've seen him make, but one of the best throws I've seen this season. The accuracy, the velocity on that ball, the situation altogether, that was fantastic. Was going to set up, give us some momentum, get that going. And what happened? Penalty on the offensive line, back it up. Kills the drive.
So, I mean, he had an opportunity to throw for over 200 yards, but the penalties got in the way, whether it was our own penalties or whether it was the PI, 37-yard PI. You add all that up, he's over 200 yards on the 13 attempt, or it would have been 15 attempts at that time then if you had the penalties in there. But nonetheless, those numbers will look good, but I need to see more dynamic routes. The route tree looks bland. Only one running anything is George Pickens. Hopefully we can get Roman Wilson back and let Justin Fields start throwing over the middle of the field. Arthur Smith came out and said they didn't design anything to throw over the middle of the field against Atlanta because he was scared of Jesse Bates. Man, damn Jesse Bates. This dude practiced against Mika every day.
That's it.
And you talking about Jesse Bates, who is good. But if you go over the middle against Mika now, why can't you go against the middle of this dude?
Well,
Arthur Smith is starting to hope he proves me wrong, but he's got to turn this offense loose.
No, he's got to. And I'm going to say this just from a fan standpoint. There are players you have to respect in this league. 100% you have to know where they are on the field at all times. TJ Watt being one of those is a great example of that. You have to account for that man. I don't want to hear my offensive coordinator is afraid of anyone.
Thank you.
Get out. You shouldn't be afraid. You got George Pickens. I got quarterbacks. I got this offensive line. I'm ready to rock. I'll hit him with my running backs. I will design an offense to throw Jesse Bates off. Not Jesse Bates is playing a defense that has to throw me off. Come on, Art. What are you doing?
I mean, the dude playing in the middle. He's playing in the middle field, right? So run your slot right at him. Run your tight end right at him. He's got to keep his ass in the middle of the field, or you just throw them the ball for a touchdown. I mean, this is basic football.
This is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We don't run out of bounds to avoid a hit. We hit. Period.
That's what he said that. I said, wait a minute. I know you coached him last year. Everybody knows how good he is. Yeah. But man, damn, nobody care. No. You practice against the best defense in the league every day. Arguably the best defense in the league every day.
Yep.
But anyway, enough about Arthur Smith, but he better get to proving me wrong, because this was my biggest fear with him.
Yeah, well, and you say enough with Arthur Smith, and you're right, we do need to move on. But every stat we're going to talk about regarding this offense is going to revolve around Arthur Smith's play calling.
Yes.
That is the problem. And if you say, oh my God, you guys complained about Matt Canada, you complained about the guy before him, you complained about the guy before him, you complained about Todd Haley. Yes, Because they suck. They're doing things incorrectly and don't know how to manage this offense. Now, whether that's a Tomlin problem or just the style of offense these guys run, there is a massive issue at the offensive coordinator position for the last, 5 years.
It's been that way since Bruce Arians left. Todd Haley was okay. He opened up the offense. Like, they went almost too open. They never ran the ball, really. I mean, we had Le'Veon Bell. They ran it with him, but it wasn't as much as Pittsburgh fans felt they should have run it. Way too much shotgun. You Pittsburgh fan, we get out of the shotgun. I was yelling too, get out of the shotgun. Run. And you win and still complaining. But that's what we're going to do. But, man, the Arthur Smith has got to come on, turn this offense loose, and bust out, because you can win these games right now, but eventually when Pittsburgh loses their first game, they'll get blown out. Oh, and it's 100%. Because he won't have anything in the playbook that says you can catch up if you get 10 points down.
No. And I'm sorry, when you are playing an NFL game, and damn who's a quarterback. Miami's going to trot out Skylar Thompson this week.
Yep.
Right? They don't care. They're going to pass the ball. They have to. It's an NFL game. When your leading receivers, Pat Freiermuth for 4 for 39, George Pickens has 2 for 29, Jaylen Warren has 2 for 19, and your one touchdown came from your second tight end, Washington, who we alluded to this season could be a touchdown monster. 1 catch, 5 yards, and a touchdown. That's not going to cut it, guys. You have too much talent on this team all the way around to be putting out this kind of production.
And the biggest thing about what he's doing is, if you're running the ball like they're able to run it through the first 2 games, how come you can't throw it? The team's evidently, are they not coming up in the box to stop the run? But eventually somebody's going to, i.e. Dallas. I know they got boat race Sunday. They're not that bad. That defense is not that bad. But come on, man, this offense, they got to catch up. The defense can't do everything. Defense got 4 turnovers through 2 games.
Yep.
I mean, you're not getting 2 turnovers every game.
No.
But I do predict our defense will score a touchdown this weekend.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Strip sack, pick up.
At some point, they're going to have to. Somebody's got to show that they can actually move the ball and put it in the end zone, and it might just be the defense.
Yeah, this game. It was encouraging to see him throw 2 touchdown passes, even though the one got called back. But we got to quit throwing just when they know we throwing. Like, it's too predictable already.
Well, that's it. And what the play calling has shown me, and again, I don't have your football IQ in this regard, but what I'm seeing is Arthur Smith doesn't trust his quarterback to win him games.
Yeah. I mean,
he just doesn't like Justin Fields.
He better get to liking him, because that's who you got. You know, he's supposed to be this turnover machine, which he turned the ball over a lot in Chicago. This isn't Chicago. He hadn't turned it over yet.
Nope.
Will he? I'm sure he eventually will. Everybody does.
Sure. He almost lost another snap this week. You know, he's going to have issues. He's on a new team, got a rookie center. There are going to be issues.
But if you're going to mess up doing something.
That's it.
That's what I was always told when I play. Hey, you don't make a mistake doing something. Don't make it standing around thinking. Don't make it playing scared. Go balls out. I don't care if it's the wrong way. Get there quick and hit somebody. Yeah, you went the wrong way, but you knocked him in the dirt. Okay, cool.
Especially
about going the wrong way.
Especially when you see the connection Justin Fields and George Pickens have right now.
Oh, it's money.
Excuse me.
Yeah, those two. The connection is great.
Oh, they're in sync. They get each other. They know where each other are. That connection is so rare for a new quarterback coming in, especially when he's supposed to be the second string quarterback, coming in with your number 1 wide receiver, and is just fearless at giving him the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what the coverage is. He trusts George, and George is not letting him down.
I mean, it seems the only people he's throwing the ball to is George Pickens and the tight end.
Who else he got?
I mean, he had Van Jefferson, but you don't want Fields throwing. You don't want him throwing 40 times. but he's got to throw more than 20. Can we get to the 25 to 30 range with passes, still get that 100-something yards rushing? What that does, that takes you from these little, 18 points, 13 points. It takes you to 27 points to 24 points. Mm-hmm. Now you can beat the better teams in the league. I don't care what anybody tell me. You've been watching these games. You can beat the best team, whoever you feel is the best teams in the league. Score 24 to 27, you can beat them, especially if you bring in the defense that Pittsburgh is bringing.
Yep.
I mean, the Saints ain't putting up 40-something points on the Steelers. It ain't happening.
No, and you can say what you want about their opponents so far. The Steelers' defense is looking like some Ray Lewis era Ravens defense. These guys are hungry.
They're giving up eight points a game. And then that's what's so intriguing about this next game. The Chargers defense is giving up 6.5 points a game. Now, granted, you can talk about who they played. They played the Panthers with Bryce Young, who were so bad they've already benched the young man. And hopefully he can get back on his feet with another team, but I think he's through in Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
That you just can't go back to him. But with Andy Dalton, that team will actually win a game. I predict they probably will beat Vegas this week in Vegas with Andy Dalton playing, and they'll score some points, and you can pick up some of their players. They'll be fantasy relevant again. But Bryce Young, it just wasn't clicking, and they had to bench him. So you can count that when you talk about a team not playing anybody. But they held the Raiders to 10 points.
Yeah.
The Raiders put 23 on the Ravens in Baltimore.
And not to mention, don't get it twisted.
26 or something like that.
Yeah. And Atlanta just beat Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Who is a Super Bowl, a perennial Super Bowl contender.
Exactly.
And Atlanta just beat them. We made Kirk Cousins look like he didn't belong in this league anymore. So the defense is there. I have no worry. Even with Queen, still had 3 tackles. I think he had 1 assist.
But I did like the fact he was at least around the ball this week.
He was a lot more, yes.
Because
he seemed more comfortable.
They flat couldn't move the ball so bad that our linebackers wasn't even getting there, and the guy was on the ground. Our front four dominated that game. Absolutely dominated that game.
What do you think they're going to be able to do here against J.K. Dobbins and a Jim Harbaugh offense?
I predict more of the same. More of the same. I was telling my brother, I was over his house yesterday, and we got to talking about it because he keeps saying, y'all might as well be playing high-scoring baseball games because he's a 49er fan. He went, yeah. I said, okay, how about this then? J.K. Dobbins won't have more than 65 yards rushing this week. They're going to put him on lock. Pittsburgh's played against J.K. before. He come from Ravens. They know him. That said, he knows them, but they know him. They will hold him to 65 yards or less rushing Sunday. And that brings me to the next point of this game. Somebody's got to break out. I don't think that this game, they could play it with leather helmets, but I actually see the defense will turn Herbert over. He's already turned it over once or twice this year, and they're not asking him to do a lot, and he's still dealing with a foot, so he's not going to be as mobile as he usually is. But once they take away that run, if Pittsburgh's offense is scoring, just give me a touchdown, a field goal, go up by 10. Somebody's going to force somebody out of their way to want to play, if that makes sense. If you watch the show, you'll understand what I'm saying. Both teams are mirror images of each other right now. They got gritty, hard-nosed coaches, which I don't like this hard. This the hardball brother I don't like, y'all. I like his brother, but this one can kiss my entire ass. I don't like him. Now, that being said, they want to play just like Pittsburgh. They only threw the ball 20 times last week. But guess what? They only had 3 penalties. They played more disciplined ball than the Steelers did. That can make a difference. But if Pittsburgh can get up on them 7-0, you're still going to see that same nasty physical game. Pittsburgh go up 13-14-0. Now you're going to see Herbert. And that's why all the experts are picking the Chargers to win a close game on the road at Pittsburgh because they have, quote unquote, the better quarterback. And my answer is they have the richer quarterback because he got paid, but he's not the quarterback that played in the wide open system. And he's also no longer the quarterback. He's good. The young man's good. Good. But he's also no Austin Eckler, no Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams. You rolling out with Quinton Johnson. Lab McConkley,
Josh Palmer,
and Josh Palmer. We rolling out with JPJ, Elliott, and Jackson. Which side you betting on?
Mm-hmm.
We should have their receivers on lock.
That said, 100%.
That said, I still think the Steelers have the edge because guess who's going to win the game? I'm saying, okay, y'all got the slightly better quarterback. Yeah, definitely when it comes to throwing, you got the best quarterback. We have the best athlete. Our quarterback's more athletic, but we got the best kicker. And both these teams want to play the same. So I'll look for Pittsburgh. This game, I think defense will score a touchdown. I think the offense might actually score 2. I have a feeling. Home opener. Look for the first drive to go down the field and score. That place is going to be rocking. Like you've been at the Steelers game. Hell, we went to a Monday night game together. Yeah. You know that place gets loud and it gets rocking. I think Pittsburgh will jump up 7-0. Then I see a turnover for a touchdown. And then I think they'll punch it in one more time. This Steelers, I predict, will score, believe it or not, 27 points this week.
No way.
With a defensive touchdown, that's 27.
Are they going to add points from last week? Like, are you saying their season total by the end of this week will be 27?
Look, I'm hopelessly optimistic.
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Because they don't have any. I guess I'm just looking at it. They don't have. I guess I need to call Arthur, but they don't have anybody that can guard George Pickens.
No,
nobody.
Nope.
They don't have anybody that can guard him.
I think this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And if we shut their run down and get that ball around the 40 or whatever, 2 first downs, we got 3 points. So let's put it in the end zone twice offense. And I predict our offense to score 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. That's 20. And with that defensive touchdown, I think we'll get, whether it's a pick 6, because if we can get up and force them to throw that ball, our DBs are simply better than their wide receivers. And we knew we had one. And Corey Trice even got a pick. Remember, I was talking him up. I'm like, I'd like to see this young kid get a chance.
And Keezy.
He the third or fourth corner. Because he's the third safety. I mean, these dudes coming in making plays. That defensive backfield coming into the season was the glaring weakness.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's looking like it's been there for years. So I hope it continues. And this week I expect it to. I mean, so realistically, though, I see Pittsburgh winning an ugly football game. Ugly football game. And with that defensive touchdown, I could see it being Pittsburgh 16, Chargers 10. I really can. Now, my optimistic hope is we get 27. And they'll still have 10-16. I just don't see where you're not lining up and running over Pittsburgh. Damn that. We ain't the Raiders.
No.
We ain't Carolina. I guarantee you. And I like JK. I've been fortunate enough to meet the young man before. He's a super, super nice young man. But his ass ain't getting 65 yards this week.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the real tests for the defense. The first real test. I think the X factor here is going to be what can Justin Herbert really do with that injury. Because X-rays were negative. That's a good thing. We don't want anybody injured. I don't care if we're playing them or not.
No,
I don't want anybody to miss time or anything like that. But he is going to have to be mobile in this game. If Pittsburgh has shown you one thing, he hurt his leg.
What? Yeah, his leg, yeah.
And if Pittsburgh has shown you anything, they're going to if you can't roll out of that pocket, look at Kirk Cousins week 1.
Yeah.
That dude was a statue and he got tore up every single passing play, whether it was a sack or not. He had somebody in his face. If Herbert's got that same problem, they're going to have a world of trouble. And on the offensive side of the ball for us, I'm not scared of their defense, even if Arthur Smith is scared of somebody on their defense.
No. I mean, they have Bosa and Khalil Mack at the edges, but we go against Highsmith, Herbig, and of course TJ Watt every day. They are not as good as that. Give me R3 over their 3.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
I'm walking through the valley and now with no fear.
And now Dan Moore's acting like a competent NFL player. I'm not worried about that.
No.
And we have a mobile quarterback who can get the hell out the way.
This is the opportunity for Arthur Smith to open this playbook up. Period. Get some pass. Show that you can throw teams off balance, not handoff pass. But I don't know, maybe play action on first down for a deep. Just show them you're willing to do these things, whether it works or not. And as Lou even said, I think in our first show against Atlanta, the more deep balls, one-on-one opportunities you give George Pickens, the more likely you are to get that pass interference call.
Yeah,
that
I think it's better than 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And you know, that being said, when we get up on a team, that game last week shouldn't have been 13-6. He was up 10-0. When it's up 10-0, he's trying to kill the clock. Man, it's the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The hell are you doing? Pass it down the field, go make it 17-0. Then make it 20-0. And then if you want to start killing the clock, go ahead and start killing the clock. Put your foot on somebody's throat. Don't get up by 3 points and then just start leaning solely on the defense by running up the middle. Man, you got to keep the pressure on these teams.
Well,
and Herbert is a really good quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in a system now that's not wide open. He's in a closed-up system with Greg Roman. They might as well just switch coordinators. It's the same offense.
Mm-hmm.
We just have better offensive players, the quarterback being the exception as far as arm goes.
Yep.
But we got to give Justin Fields a chance. We keep saying we need to see more out of him. We got to give him a chance. What's he supposed to do? Complete all 20 of them?
That's it. At some point in time, it's not his fault. They're running the same kind of plays for Justin Fields right now in Pittsburgh that his first coach in Chicago ran for him, who didn't want to draft him. The GM made him draft him.
Yep.
That was a total bad decision by them and the miscommunication. That coach did not want him and intentionally ran terrible plays because he didn't trust his arm. And Art is doing the same thing right now.
And if that's the case, you get rid of the coordinator. The quarterback has the talent, and you got a ton of talent around you. So I look for Pittsburgh to run their record to 3-0. Ugly game, win 16-10. I'll take it. In a beautiful game, in a beautiful setting, it'd be 27-13. But either way, Steelers will win the game. And because the Chargers have proven all they want to do is run the ball just like Pittsburgh, but you just ain't running it on Pittsburgh like that.
No, and I'm actually going to say it's going to be 16-9. The Chargers will not get in the end zone. I think our defense is going to come out, show out, and I think we might get another touchdown. Look, I'll end the show by saying this. If the first two games are any indication, time of possession is going to be, if we hold the time of possession again, as Lou said multiple times, we're going to win the game. It'll be ugly. I don't look for anything exciting, and it's not because of our talent. It's because of our offensive coordinator.
Yep. I look for that defensive touchdown to be the difference in this game.
I can see it. For Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle. Hopefully we are way more optimistic next week after Justin Fields passes for a few hundred yards, 3 tutties, and Pickens looks like the man he's supposed to be. For Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle. This is Six Rings and Counting. We'll see you next week.